Hi and welcome to Outdoor World Direct. Today we're going to take a look at, as an overview, we're going to take a look at the drive-away awnings from Vango. So the drive-away awnings typically fit camper vans or they fit motorhomes depending on the height. Now there's several different collections within the drive-away awning collection, so it can be a bit confusing as to why certain price points are there, why certain fabrics are used. So what I'll do is I'll guide you through essentially the entire range so that you can make an informed decision about where you might want to be in terms of your purchase and what awning might suit your van the best. The first thing you need to do is figure out what height van you have or what height your rail is if you're going to connect to a rail. So there's three different heights. There's the low, that's 180 to 210 centimeters in height. That typically fits your VW style van, your Mercedes Vito, your Ford Transit and Tornado, those kind of vans. You've then got the ever popular mid awning, which is kind of like for Fiat Ducato style vans. That's going to fit anything between 215 and 255 centimeters in height. The final one is the tall. The tall is designed for motorhomes where the rail is a lot higher up, so you need the connecting panel to be higher up. So this is your connecting panel. All the awnings in this range, they're all going to be the same. The only difference between low, mid and tall is where that connecting panel reaches up to. So the one we're looking at the moment, that's a low, so that's between 180 to 210. Then you've got your mid, so the awning would remain the same, but the connecting panel will be taller, and then you've got your tall, and it's the same format. So it just depends on what height your vehicle is. So before you buy an awning, you don't want to make that mistake of getting the wrong one and the wrong height. So make sure you measure. If you've got a rail, measure from the rail to the ground and figure out what that is in centimeters, and then you're going to know what type of awning that you want. So with every Vango driveway awning, there's four different types of options of attaching them from the awning to the camper van. Every Vango awning comes with them. So the first one is the 6mm thread here. This is a K-door rail. It's on every single awning, and if you've got a wind out or a rail on the side of your van, it's just going to slide in to that and it will secure it. That's the most secure method. You can also use a fixing kit so that it's much easier to detach the awning from the van or the rail. So the fixing kit would sit in the middle between the 6mm strip and the rail, and it would sit in the middle. It's like a plastic strip with an additional K-door on, and when you're ready to leave the site, you would just pull the plastic strips away and the connecting panel falls away and you can roll that up. The second option is the 8-meter storm straps. So every awning's got buckles, and you just buckle the storm straps, throw them over the other side of the van and peg down. The third option is the pole and sleeve. This is for older styles of van that have got a gutter on the side. So you'd get a pole and clamps kit, which is sold separately. You'd make the pole up and you'd thread it through the sleeve here. And once you've threaded it through the sleeve drops into the gutter on the side of the camper van, and you use the clamps to tighten it up. The last option is the Velcro straps, which are at the top. The Velcro straps, if you've got roof bars, it would go around your roof bars and it would connect to the van that way. So you've got four different options, and between those four options you should find something to work with your van. The most secure method is always going to be the 6mm kit, because it's the strongest way of attaching your awning to your camper van or motorhome. If you've got a motorhome, you ideally need a wind out rail so that you can drop that rail down and then connect this in. The other options are much harder to do on a motorhome because of the height of the motorhome. So the other three options are ideal if you've got a camper van where it's, you know, in reaching height. But if you've got a motorhome, which is obviously all the way up here, you really want the wind out rail and use the 6mm system to attach. So firstly, if we look at the Sentinel active range of driveway awnings, these are typically designed for VW camper vans. So they're all in a low height. So they fit vans between 180 to 210 centimeters in height. So they're going to be perfect for VWs, Mercedes Vitos, Ford Tornadoes, that type of van. In this range, the Sentinel active range, there are four awnings. There's the Faros Low, which we're looking at now. There's the Cove Low. There's the Tailgate, which is a tailgate for the tail of the van. And there's also the Galli Low. All of these awnings are designed in the Sentinel active fabric. So they're a 70 Denier fabric. They're a lightweight fabric. So this is the lightest weight fabric that Vango do. So if you want an awning that's portable, that's easier to move, then you want to be in this Sentinel active range. The flip side of it is because it's a lighter weight 70 Denier fabric, it's not as durable as some of the fabrics that we will go on to look at. Also in this Sentinel active range, all of the awnings are designed with fiberglass poles, so there's no air beam in this area. So it's an entry-level, price-pointed product designed for VW style vans. So moving into the Sentinel Active collection of drive-away awnings. The Sentinel Active, it has a lot more depth in this area. So there's a lot more awnings and there's a lot more products available, and for different sizes of vans as well. As I mentioned before, the entry-level area, the Sentinel, it's only really designed for like VW type vans. With these, they're made in different heights, so you're going to have more depth of choice. So if I quickly take you through the differences on this range. The first thing is you've got a 150 Denier fabric. So it's much stronger, it's going to last for longer, and it's much more durable. Now, 70 Denier is great if you want something that's really lightweight, but if you're wanting something that's a little bit more robust, you might want to step up into this area and go for the 150. The second thing we've got is air beam designs. So the air beam it's much easier to pitch, and it's much easier to set down as well. So it's going to take some time out of pitching the awning. So they're really the key features to the Sentinel Active of why you would pay a little bit more. So you've got thicker fabric, you've got a higher waterproofing rate of 4,000 millimeters. So you're kind of into that mid-level awning now. And this is still quite portable because it's not a heavyweight fabric. So it's still going to fit into the back of the van with no problems, and it's not too heavy. So I'll run you through some of the awnings in this collection. The first one is the Faros III. Now you might notice that this is really similar to the first awning we looked at, but obviously the colours are a little bit different and you've got the better fabric on it. This is only available in a low height, so again it's only available for VW style or Mercedes Vito style vans. So that's kind of what it's aimed at. It wouldn't be available in a mid or a tall at this moment in time, this awning. The format of it is the van is going to be to the rear, your connecting panel is at the rear, and that's going to go against your habitation door, and then you're going to come out and face onto the sideways of the pitch. So this is basically based on one of the best-selling designs of the Kia over the years, but it's giving you a lighter weight awning that's at a much better cost and price to you guys. So next in the range we've got the Vango Faros 150 Denier. So again, this is part of the Sentinel Active collection. This is the most versatile awning that Vango's probably ever made. It's got a lot of different formats. You can change the location of the connecting panel and the bedroom, so it's really useful for different pitches and different campsites because it'll allow you to maneuver this to how you basically want to format it and set it up. Now this is available in both a low and a mid height, so the low is going to be ideal for your VWs. Your mid is kind of like your Fiat Ducato style van or your compact motorhomes where the rail height is between 215 and 255 centimeters tall. So again, available in a low and a mid, air beam design, 150 Denier, 4,000 millimeters hydrostatic head, and just a really nice solid awning that's going to be very, very popular, I think. So next in the range after the Faros on the Verso would be the Cove and the Galli ranges. Now we're looking at a Galli at the moment, but we also do the Cove, which is very similar to this model, but the difference is you would remove one of the beams, so it only has 3 beams and not 4 beams. The Galli CC is an extra beam, so that is a 4th beam, and it gives you the extra living space. Now both the Cove and the Galli, they sit sideways on from the van. So what I mean by that is they're going to sit parallel to your camper van or your motorhome. Now the Cove is available in both a low and a mid, and the Galli is available in all 3 different height variations, whether it be a low, mid or a tall. Again, they share the same fabric, the colours, the air beam design, it's all shared, and it's a 150 Denier. So both the Cove and the Galli have all the same features, it's just about what size you kind of want and what height you want. So the next range that we head into is the TC range. So this is the Sentinel Active TC. I know these names are really confusing, like Sentinel Active, Sentinel and Sentinel TC. The best way I look at it is good, better, best. So we've looked at good, which was your entry level 70 Denier. We've looked at better, which was the 150 Denier. TC is kind of a parameter above that. So it's a nicer fabric. Now the problem with cotton is it's heavier, so the weights of these are going to be a little bit more than the 150 polyesters and the 70 Denier polyesters. But the beauty of cotton is it's a more malleable fabric. It's ideal in warmer conditions and it's ideal in cooler conditions because it retains heat, but it also breathes as well. And naturally it's more waterproof than a polyester, so it doesn't need as much treatment to make it waterproof. The fabric is just really malleable and it adapts to all the different climates better. So there's only 2 awnings in this area. There's either the Cove TC, which is based on the same design as the Cove in the 150 Denier, and there's the Galli TC, which is again designed exactly the same as the 150 Denier. So that the formats, the layouts, they're all the same, it's just about the fabric. So this is just the TC, and that stands for technical cotton. So you might want this if you're going onto the continent or you're going to warmer climates. If you're not and you're staying in the UK, I'd probably recommend staying with polyester because it's lighter and it's easier to dry, and we have a lot of rain in this country. But if you're going off onto the continent and you know the weather's going to be much better and you want to be able to sit in a cooler environment, then TC is where you should be looking to buy. So we've looked at the good and the better awnings. Now we're going to look at the best, which is the elite collection. Within this collection, you've got 3 awnings that you'll probably know the names of, which are the Keeler, the Hexaway and the Galli. Now they've been moved forward for 2024 and they now are called the Hexaway Pro, the Galli Pro and the Keeler Pro. The main changes to these products are the fabric is now made from the Earth Collection fabrics, which is the Sentinel Eco fabric, which is a 420 denier polyester fabric with a ripstop on there. So it's a very durable, reliable fabric. Why would you buy any of these 3 awnings? You'd buy them because you're out earlier or later in the season, or you want a more durable awning that's going to last a lot longer. So with the 3 awnings, they're each made in 3 different heights. So within this collection, we should be able to accommodate pretty much any camper van or any motorhome on the market. So with this ripstop fabric, it's the same as the previous iterations of these models, and it's the same 420 ripstop. It's a really strong fabric, it's very durable. It goes really nicely with the super beams, so it's a nice blend between the two of the air beam and the fabric. And it's just really ideal for still having the quick pitching, but having the durability to go alongside it. The only downside of having a heavier weight fabric is the overall weight. So if you're looking at the Keeler, it weighs approximately 19 kilos. The Hexaway is approximately 22 kilos and the Galli is 32 to 33 kilos depending on which height variation you go for. The final area of the elite awnings is the TC. So we have the Keeler available in both the 420 denier polyester and it's also available in this TC as well. It's also worth noting with this TC, it is only available in a low height, whereas all of the 420 denier pro awnings are available in a low, a mid and a tall. So to conclude, it's really easy to remember in this range. There's 3 simple areas. You've got good, better and you've got best. The good was the Sentinel Active 70 denier polyester fabric with poled design. The better was the Sentinel Active 150 denier and the Sentinel Active TC. In that range, you've got a nice mid-range of awnings in terms of the quality of the fabric. It's a nice middleman between the lighter weight and the heavyweight stuff. The elite range, you've got either the Sentinel Eco Pro fabrics or you've got the Elite TC fabrics. And the Sentinel Pro, we make that in a Keeler, a Galli and a Hexaway. And then the Keeler TC is the only elite awning available in polycotton. We also do more in-depth videos of each awning individually. So if you're wanting more information on each awning, it might just be worth watching the individual awning videos, which go into a little bit more depth on each of the products available. Thanks for watching today. I really hope this video has helped decipher the differences between each range of drive-away awning.